Well, friends, very good afternoon. So, today we are going to discuss this topic in financial management. This topic is leverage, and this is a part of our capital structure planning. In your capital structure planning, we know there are two basic components in the capital structure. One is debt and equity, and we have also understood that the cost of debt is normally lower than the cost of equity. Cost of equity is higher, cost of debt is lower. There are certain reasons for that, and a particular combination of this debt and equity is important in order to maximize the value of the farm. Ultimately, we want to increase the earning per share so that value of the farms can be maximized. And for that thing, we have to create a good combination of debt and equity. That concept, that concept of creating a suitable combination of debt and equity is understood as the concept of leverage. Okay, I am going to share a screen with you right now. Just wait for a minute. Screen will be shared with you. Are you able to see the screen? Can any one of you reply?
Yes, sir.
Voice is not audible. Please reply once again.
Sir, this is visible for me.
It's visible, no? Okay. So this chapter leverage we are going to start. Acha. So I'm showing you a particular picture. You see, imagine something like this. Let us say you want to buy a property of 10,000 lakh, of rupees 10 lakh rupees. This is the kind of property you want to buy, and you are having only 4 lakh rupees as equity. Equity, as your owner's fund, you are having 4 lakh rupees and you want to buy a property of 10 lakh rupees. How is that possible? How is that possible that with 4 lakh rupees you can buy 10 lakh? You can buy a property worth 10 lakh rupees. Can some of you answer? You are having equity only 4 lakh and you want to buy a property of 10 lakh. My voice is audible? Okay, I'm able to see the chart, but I want to listen your voice so that you can smoothly interact. Please, some of you, please reply. Please speak it out. Meghna,
Sir, your voice is
wait a minute, wait a minute. Meghna, can you speak?
Ye- Yes, sir.
Yeah. The screen is visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, your voice is quite clear, so we can start the class now. So, in case you face some difficulty in seeing the video or you face some audio problem, Meghna, you please speak it out and keep your speaker on mute mode. Okay, so we are talking about suppose we want to buy a property worth 10 lakh rupees and we are having money only 4 lakh. Can we buy that property? आपके पास 10 लाख रुपए का प्रॉपर्टी चाहिए बट आपके पास 4 लाख रुपए है आप प्रॉपर्टी खरीद सकते हो क्या? Yes or no?
No, sir.
Yes or no?
No, sir.
No. So with equity, it is not possible. So in that case, what you can do, if you can add some debt, let us say you'll be adding a debt of 6 lakh rupees, then only it is possible. Meaning we want to create a combination of debt and equity. If you want to invest money, if you want this much of money to be invested, is it not? Okay. So if I am buying, I want to buy a property of 10 lakh rupees with 4 lakh rupees equity, I can say if at all I am buying it, I can say that I am using the concept of leverage to buy that property. That means introduction of the debt in my capital structure. This is my capital structure. That combination of equity and debt. If I'm introducing debt in my capital structure, then it will be called that I'm leveraging my farm. Okay, this farm will be called as the levered farm. And this kind of investment, you need to lever your farm. You need to introduce some kind of debt in the capital structure. And in this example, if you calculate what is the leverage ratio, I will be calculating like this: 10 lakh divided by 4 lakh is 2.5. Here equity will be 4 lakh rupees, debt will be 6 lakh. Because I understand without debt, it is not possible to buy that property. So debt is the capital structure. Okay. So debt needs to be introduced in the capital structure. Okay. Is it clear here? Is it clear to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, the concept of leverage, if you want to understand, then we have to understand the leverage from the physical science, the physics. From the physics, we have understood this. If you can look at the picture, you can see this is how it is explained in physics, in a physical level. That means with the weight of 10 kg, we can lift 20 kg. Is it not? How it is possible? If you can adjust this distance, suppose this is 4 feet, this is 2 feet, then 4 feet into 10 kg is equal to 40, then 20 kg into 2 feet is also 40. So with 10 kg, it is possible to lift 20 kg. Have you understood this example? Example of physics. मतलब 10 kg का weight 20 kg उठा सकता है. If you suitably create a leverage. Are you getting? Is it possible or not? Can you reply?
No, sir.
Yeah, it's not possible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, it's possible, is it not? So 10 kg का weight 20 kg उठा सकता है with suitable leverage. Exactly same thing we'll do. But how it is possible? How with 10 kg weight we can lift 20 kg? We have to create a lever like this. Okay? And we can say this is the leverage ratio of 20 by 10. 20 by 10 or 2.3. This is my leverage ratio. 10 kg का effort लगा के I am getting the reward of 20 kg. This side I am saying effort, this side I am showing it as a reward. Right? Now the similar concept I am extending to the concept of financial management. To the subject of financial management, I am introducing the similar concept. Here what I will do with cost of debt of 10%. That means my cost of capital will be 10%. 10% cost से मैं 15% return भी ला सकता और 20% return भी ला सकता. Okay, because my industry or my business will give me 15% return, but my cost of capital I can reduce. How I can reduce? I know cost of debt is cheaper, so I will introduce debt in my capital structure so that my overall cost will be minimum. My overall cost will be lower. So by introducing at 10%, I can earn a profit of 15% or 20%. Return of earning can be 15% or 20%, depends upon the type of business. Are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this concept is again called as the leverage. That means efforts will be less, rewards will be more. Here, what is effort? Effort is the your cost. And what is reward? Reward is the return you are getting. But how we can reduce the cost? By adjusting the capital structure. By adjusting the capital structure, we will be able to reduce the cost. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Right. Now, to understand the importance of leverage, I am showing you this slide. Are you able to see this slide? Can you read what is written in the slide? Can you read?
Importance of leverage.
Yes, importance of leverage. That is what we are going to see it or test it. What we have understood, we are going to test it. So let us say the total capital, we are comparing two farms in fact. Let us say the total capital, how much is the total capital for both the farms, A and B?
200.
Okay, so total capital is 200 and 200. Okay, in the both the farms, total capital is 200, 200. And in case of farm EA, you can see the equity is 100 and the debt Debt is represented by 8% debenture or 8% bond is 100. Okay. Farm A, equity is
Yes,
100,
sir.
debt is 100. And what is the position of farm B?
No debt.
No
Only
debt,
equity.
only equity. Equity is how much?
200.
So equity 200, debt is 0. So this is the, you see in the farm A also total capital is 200 and farm B also total capital is 200. Is it not? But one farm is
Yes, sir.
levered, other farm is unlevered. Can you tell me which farm is levered, which farm is unlevered?
Farm A is levered.
Farm A is levered because in the capital structure there is debt. Farm B is unlevered because there is no debt in the capital structure. Why we try to lever our farm? So that our return can be maximum. We can earn maximum profit or we can maximize the return to the shareholders. Okay. And now let us assume the farm earns return. Let us assume the farm earns a return of 10%. Okay. Farm is earning
Yes, sir.
at what rate? 10%. So total capital investment is how much? 200.
200.
Return is 10%. So what will be the total return? In rupee terms,
20.
20. So farm A is earning 10%, 20. Farm B is also earning 10%, that is 20. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All of you are clear up to this? Farm A is 20 earning,
Yes,
farm
sir.
B is earning 20. Right? Now,
सर थोड़ा डाउट है
yeah, what is the doubt? Tell me. क्या doubt है?
सर फॉर लिवर्ड और अनलिवर्ड फार्म कैसे हमको मालूम पड़ेगा
कैसे मालूम पड़ेगा? ठीक है, आपको देखना पड़ेगा वो फार्म का कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर. कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर में दो कंपोनेंट, मेजर कंपोनेंट्स आते हैं. वन इज डेप्ट, अदर पार्ट इज इक्विटी. ठीक है. अगर कैपिटल स्ट्रक्चर कंसिस्ट ऑफ ओनली इक्विटी, इसमें अगर कोई भी डेप्ट नहीं है, देन दैट विल बी कॉल्ड एज अनलीवर्ड फार्म. मतलब लिवरेज नहीं है. डेप्ट है तो लिवर्ड फार्म. In this example, you see farm B is unlevered because there is no debt. Debt is 0. Whereas farm
यस
A
सर
is levered because it is 100. There is a debt. Here it is 100 is there. There is a debt. Is it clear to you?
यस सर
Okay. अगर डेप्ट है तो लिवर्ड, डेप्ट नहीं है तो अनलिवर्ड. अब फिर अगेन आपको बताता हूं, तो फिर डेप्ट हम क्यों इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं? डेप्ट इसीलिए इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं कि डेप्ट इज चीपर. टू डू द बिजनेस आई नीड फंड. Is it not? To do the business I need fund.
यस
And this, if the funds are available at cheaper rate, then it is fine. I can earn more money. So always I introduce debt so that my overall cost of capital can be minimum. I try for the cheaper one. And if I introduce debt in the capital structure, my intention is that with the introduction of the debt, my earning will be more. Meaning my earning to the shareholders will be more. We'll see this example. After that, you will be able to understand. So we have seen return on investment here is how much? 10%, 10% in rupee terms in 2020. If this is the return, and let us say this much of earning this company is getting, and this is 20 is again company B is getting, A company will pay interest, is it not? Why A will
Yes,
pay
sir.
interest? Because he has a debt. And the
Levered fund.
interest rate is how much?
8%.
8%. 8%, and what is the amount of debt?
It is 100.
100. So on 100, 8%, then 8 rupees will be paid as interest. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Then balance
Yes.
money that will be available for the shareholders is 20 minus 8, 12 rupees. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. If 12 rupees, my equity share is 100 rupees. So I can distribute 12 rupees to them. So equity shareholders will get a return of 12%. ठीक है, क्योंकि उसका कैपिटल है 100 रुपया, उसको हम दे रहे हैं 12 रुपया. So 12% is return. Okay. Now we see,
Yes, sir.
we'll compare it with farm B. In case of farm B also return earning is same 20 and there is no interest. Interest is not there. So entire 20 will be distributed to the equity shareholders. उसके पास 20 है. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
So if I distribute 20, but equity share is 200. For 200, I am giving 20. So equity shareholder return is 10%. Are you getting?
Yes, sir.
So you see, farm A can give 12% dividend, farm B can give 10% dividend only. Even if both the farms have earned same amount, both the farms have earned 2020. But farm A has introduced debt in the capital structure. Since farm A is levered, it can pay its shareholders return at a higher rate. And farm B is paying, well, farm B is paying 10%, farm A is paying at 12% because of its capital structure. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, if you analyze how it is possible because if you compare, farm A and B are earning at what rate? 10%. 10%
8%.
उनके earning rate है. But their cost of debt is 8% farm A का. तो
Yes,
उनका
sir.
सस्ता में फंड मिला, वो ज्यादा अर्न कर रहे हैं. तो एक्स्ट्रा 2% they can give.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. So if this is the position, if the cost of debt is cheaper, the cost of debt is lower than the earning of the farm, return on investment, then it is always better to introduce debt.
Debt.
But अगर A ज्यादा होता तो assume suppose this cost of debt is more, then it is not good to introduce debt in the capital structure. That also we have to see, right? In this case, we have seen it is better to bring debt in the capital structure. If debt लाने से, it will be able to pay more dividend. Okay, understood this example?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So, okay. So we'll understand the second example. So for the students who are joining today, all these slides will be distributed. So no point in writing down these slides. Just understand the session. Slides will be sending you. Slides will be available at Bhubaneswar chapter. It will be sent to you. Now, friends, now let us see the second example. Second example, you see same situation. What is the total capital? 200, 200. Both the farms.
Yes, sir.
Equity farm A is 100. Debt is 100. And farm B is all equity farm. Equity is 200. And debt is 0. Okay. Now, can some of you say which one is levered farm, which one is unlevered farm? Someone please reply.
Farm A
Except,
is
yeah,
levered.
who is replying? Meghna?
Farm Meghna, sir.
Okay, yeah, Meghna, reply. Which is levered, which is unlevered?
Sir, farm A is levered. Farm B unlevered.
Very good. Farm A is levered, farm B is unlevered because farm A is having debt. But can you tell me what is the cost of
Yes,
debt?
sir.
What is the cost of debt here?
12%.
12%. And what is ROI, a return on investment? Both the farms?
10%.
10%.
10%.
So in money terms, how much they have earned? Both the farms? What is the earning in money terms?
20.
2020. So both the farms have earned 2020. Is it not?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. Now farm A will pay interest. Whether farm B has to pay some interest?
No.
No. So only
No, sir.
farm A have to pay interest. Farm A's debt is 100 rupees and on which he has to pay 12%. So the interest for
Yes.
farm A is how much?
12 rupees.
12
12%.
rupees. 12 rupees. So after paying 12 rupees, money available to the equity shareholders is how much?
8 rupees.
8 rupees. So if I declare dividend at this stage, my equity share is 100 rupees, but I have money of rupees 8. So I can declare a dividend of how much percentage? How much percentage?
8%.
8%. 8%. But the same thing we'll see in the context of farm B. Farm B, if you see, my earning is 200. There is no interest. Total money is available to 20, and my equity shares are 200. There is no debt. Entire capital is equity. So how much dividend I can declare in percentage terms?
10%.
10%.
10%. Now you have seen the unlevered farm is paying more dividend. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
Previously, what
Yes, sir.
you see the previous example I have seen, the levered farm was paying more dividend. And this example, it is saying
Yes, sir.
unlevered farm is paying more dividend. Now, can you analyze this financial statement and can you tell me why in this particular situation, levered farm could not give more dividend? Can you tell me? Can,
Because the cost of debt is more than the return on investment.
very good. Return on investment is 10%, but the cost of debt is 12%. Okay. Okay, understood. Now we'll see one more example now. Understood? In the first case, cost of debt was 8%, return on debt was 10%. So it is better to introduce leverage. Why you are saying all this example? Because through this we will be able to understand that it is not necessary that always leverage is better. We need to understand at what time, at in which situation we need to lever our farm, and in which situation we need to unlever our farm. Okay. So basically we have understood, if my earning is more than cost of debt, then I should bring debt. If my earning is less than cost of debt, then I should never introduce debt in the capital structure, because that will minimize my earning per se. Okay. Now
Yes, sir.
I'm showing you the third example. You see, it's almost same example. You see, capital is 200, both the firms. Equity is 100, okay, and debt is 100 in case of farm A, and in case of farm B, there is no debt. Return percentage is 10%, 10%, right? And what is the amount of return? Please, some of you reply. What's the amount of return?
20.
20, 20, same situation. And the interest I have to pay. In case of farm A, only interest part will be there. You see how much is the interest how much interest has to pay?
10
10 rupees,
10.
because 10%. Farm
rupees 10.
B, farm B, what is the interest?
0.
0. So money available for
0
shareholders, farm A, how much?
Is 10 rupees.
Farm B,
It is 20
20
rupees.
rupees.
20. Now you can see, farm A can give 10% dividend, because 10 rupees on capital of 100. Farm B also can
Yes,
give
sir.
10%, because 20 rupees on a capital of equity capital of 200.
200.
Okay. Now you
Yes, sir.
see, with leverage also, no effect. Both the firms are paying same rate of dividend, or their earning per share is same in spite of leverage. Okay,
Yes,
ठीक
sir.
है? Understood. So this is the concept we need to know. If my earning is equal to my cost of debt, there is no point in introducing debt in the capital structure. But if my earning is more than my cost of debt, it is always advisable to introduce debt in the capital structure. But if my earning is less than the capital structure, again I should not bring debt to my capital structure. Have you understood this concept?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this gives us the basic
Yes, sir.
idea. This gives us the very basic idea that in which situation we should lever the farm, and in which situation we should not lever. Okay, now to understand the leverage or understand the various ratios that we calculate as leverage, we need to understand what exactly leverage refers to. Leverage refers to the relationship between two variables. Okay, so between two variables, what is the relationship that is expressed through leverage? In this financial management, we need to compute three kinds of leverages which we'll be learning, right? And they express two kinds of variables. So primarily, we'll see one of the important variable is the EBIT. You know what is EBIT?
Yes, sir.
What is that?
Earning with
Earning before
interest.
interest and tax.
Earning before interest and taxes. Okay. And one more variable, let us say EPS. EPS means,
Earning per
Earning
share.
per share.
okay, earning per share. So what happens? All firms wants to maximize this, maximize earning per share. Because if I will be able to maximizing earning per share, my shareholders' value will be maximized, which will ultimately maximize the value of the business. Okay, EPS should be more. So this leverage analysis expresses the relationship between EBIT and EPS. मतलब EBIT बढ़ने से EPS बढ़ेगा या घटेगा, और कितनी बढ़ेगा और कितनी घटेगा, that can be understood through leverage. So one variable is EBIT, other variable is EPS. Did you understand up to this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, understood. Now, how we can maximize the return of the farm? or how we can magnify the potential return or magnify the expected return of the firm so that EPS will be more. Various possibilities are there. One way is that will be if you introduce some kind of fixed cost in the cost structure, then earning will be more. Okay, we'll test it how it is possible. The moment I am saying that I am introducing debt in the capital structure, अगर डेप्ट इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं इसका मतलब क्या है? इसका मतलब आई हैव टू पे इंटरेस्ट. नाउ इंटरेस्ट इज ए फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट और वेरिएबल कॉस्ट. व्हाट डू यू थिंक? आपका दिमाग में अभी क्या आता है कि इंटरेस्ट क्या है, फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट है, वेरिएबल
Fixed
कॉस्ट?
cost.
फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट. व्हाई यू फील इट इज फिक्स्ड
variable
कॉस्ट?
cost.
या, all of you are agreeing that it is fixed cost? Yeah,
Because we are paying a fixed amount.
we have to pay the fixed amount. Means whether you produce goods or you do not produce goods, you have to pay interest. You have taken a loan means you have to pay interest, is it not? So irrespective of your performance, irrespective of your business performance, you have to incur that interest cost, right? अभी आपने देखा कि डेप्ट इंट्रोड्यूस करने से आपका ईपीएस बढ़ जाता है, राइट? अगर आप डेप्ट इंट्रोड्यूस करते हैं, सिंस डेप्ट कॉस्ट इज चीप, आपका ईपीएस बढ़ जाता है. Actually, what is happening when you introduce debt, you are introducing a fixed cost in the cost structure, that is interest. ठीक है? And through introduction of that fixed cost, you are able to maximize your return. आपका रिटर्न बढ़ जाता है. ठीक है? So
Yes, sir.
if we introduce this leverage concept, of if you try to lever our firm, introduce debt in the capital structure, what we will be getting? We will be getting disproportionate rewards. Disproportionate rewards means normally our intention is that rewards should be more than efforts. Okay, रिवार्ड शुड बी मोर देन एक्सपोर्ट. ऑल ऑफ अस वांट इट, लेकिन आप भी ऐसे चाहिए, मतलब कम एफर्ट करेंगे लेकिन ज्यादा रिवार्ड मिलेगा. सो बिजनेस हाउसेस आल्सो नीड टू डू दैट, दे आल्सो प्लान टू डू दैट. मतलब सपोज आप देखिए, मैं चाहता हूं कि 10% सेल्स बढ़ाऊंगा लेकिन प्रॉफिट 20% बढ़ेंगे. पॉसिबल और नॉट? सेल्स विल इंक्रीज बाय 10% बट प्रॉफिट विल इंक्रीज बाय 20%. अब बताओ ये हो सकता है? हो सकता है, राइट? हाउ इट इज पॉसिबल? That is possible through leverage. If I can create some leverage, okay, that means in my cost structure I'll be bringing some fixed cost instead of variable cost. So fixed cost will help me in maximizing the return of the firm. And when leverage, I say the rewards will be disproportionate to the efforts, and the reward here I mean is the profit or earning per share. EPS is the reward, I want to maximize that. Effort means sales, मतलब सेल्स तो 10% बढ़ाऊंगा, बट आई वांट माय रिवॉर्ड और प्रॉफिट शुड इंक्रीज 15%. ओके, ओके,
Yes, sir.
that means can you read the last line what is written in the slide in the blue color? Can you read it? Can some of you read it?
If sales goes up by
10%.
and profit increase by 50%,
Yes,
it means reward are disproportionate to
to the
effort.
effort. If this is what happens, sales is going up by 10%, profit is increased by 50%, or sales is going by 10% but profit is increased by 20%. So rewards and efforts are proportionate or disproportionate?
Proportionate.
This
Disproportionate. Disproportionate, right? If they are disproportionate, we'll say there is a leverage. Okay, understood?
सर
Yeah.
एग्जांपल दे सकते हैं?
हाँ, जरूर देंगे. अभी एग्जांपल, अभी एक एक कैलकुलेशन करके देंगे आपको एग्जांपल. ठीक है, बट राइट नाउ यू जस्ट अंडरस्टैंड that sales and reward and efforts should be disproportionate. Our plan is to make it disproportionate. ठीक है, example just now after understanding the types of leverage, we will be practically doing an example. ठीक है, you will be able to
Yes, sir.
appreciate that how our rewards can be disproportionate to efforts. Okay, now friends, we'll understand various types of leverage and various types of fixed cost that we need to introduce. Just now I told you one thing, that if I want more reward than effort, then I have to bring some fixed cost in my cost structure. ठीक है, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, This existence of fixed cost in my cost structure will bring a kind of leverage and which will ultimately bring a disproportionate reward. So that should be fixed cost exist in my cost structure. And we need to understand that there are two kinds of fixed cost, or we will classify our fixed cost into two categories. Right? We are classifying for our own analysis purpose. Okay. And what are these fixed costs? Two kinds of fixed costs. Can you see this
Op-
pick and tell me what are these fixed kind of?
operating
Yeah, please tell me.
operating cost and financial cost.
Very good. As you are seeing in this slide, one is operating fixed cost or fixed operating cost. Second is financial fixed cost.
Financial fixed cost.
Okay. Operating fixed cost means the fixed cost which is related to my business operation. Let us say if I want to run the business, I might be having a shop, I have to pay rent. Whether my business is running or not, I have to pay rent. I have to incur the cost of depreciation. Some staff will be always there. I have to pay them salary. Is it not? These are called as my
Yes.
operating fixed cost. To run the business operation, I have to incur this many fixed costs. Even if sales is zero, कोई भी सेल्स नहीं है, फिर भी मेरे को सैलरी देना पड़ेगा, रेंट देना पड़ेगा, डेप्रिसिएशन का कॉस्ट रिकवर करना पड़ेगा. Is it not? Then
Yes.
operating fixed cost. And what is financial fixed cost? Financial fixed cost is the interest. Okay, because of source of finance, since I have taken a loan, I have to pay interest. It doesn't matter whether I'm selling a product or not. Sales is zero, but still interest has to be paid. So is it not a fixed cost? Interest is a fixed cost or not?
Fixed cost.
Fixed cost. So these are the two kinds of fixed cost. One is operating fixed cost and other is financial fixed cost. Okay. And
Financial
these two kind of fixed cost or the presence of fixed cost in the cost structure brings two kinds of leverages. Therefore, we call a particular leverage as operating leverage and another particular leverage as financing leverage or financial leverage. Okay. Now
Yes.
we'll be understanding. Now, are you seeing a different kind of picture? You
Yes, sir.
see on the top, what is written? What kind of leverage we are talking about? On the top,
Total leverage or combined
okay.
leverage.
So there is a leverage which is called as the total leverage or combined leverage. Right? We will be understanding how to compute it, how to compute total leverage or combined leverage. But we need to know this is combined leverage means it is a combination of two leverage, or the total leverage can be divided or can be classified into two kinds of leverages. What are they?
Financial leverage and operating leverage.
Okay, operating leverage and financial leverage. And the combination of both the leverages are called as total leverage. Okay. Now, we need to understand what is the reason why operating leverage is there. Why is explained here. Operating leverage comes because, please read this, due to,
Due to existence of fixed cost in the product cost structure.
so in my product cost structure or in my service cost structure, there is a fixed cost, fixed operating cost like rent, depreciation, etc. And because of that thing, operating leverage is arrived. Similarly, because of existence of fixed charges in my source of finance, that is because of interest in my financing cost, I am getting a financial leverage. Okay. So operating fixed costs are responsible for operating leverage and financing fixed costs are responsible for financial leverage. Is it clear up to this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll understand the formula of calculating this kind of leverages. So operating fixed costs can be computed like this: contribution divided by profit before interest and taxes. Contribution divided by PBIT. Do you know what is contribution?
Dividend.
No, not dividend. Contribution on in costing you might have learned in contribution means sales minus variable cost is called as contribution. So what is contribution? Sales minus variable cost.
Variable cost.
Variable cost. Suppose I am producing something. Suppose I am selling a pen at 10 rupees. Okay. Now forget about fixed cost. Let us say 10 rupees I am selling a pen. But the variable cost is let us say 7 rupees. So what is contribution?
3 rupees.
How much?
3 rupees.
3 rupees. Why it is called contribution? Because you see fixed cost तो हम लोग को incur करना ही है, जैसे भी वो I have to incur fixed cost. But this 3 rupees is the contribution to the business from which fixed cost can be recovered. So each unit of pen I sell that contributes 3 rupees towards fixed cost. Okay, the moment I am selling a pen, I am getting a contribution of 3 rupees so that I can recover my fixed cost. Understood why it is called contribution?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, in simple words or in mathematically, if you want to, in a formula wise, if you want to remember, we have to understand contribution means sales minus
Variable cost.
variable cost. Okay, sales minus variable cost is the contribution. So here the formula of operating leverage is contribution divided by PBIT. What is PBIT?
Profit
Profit
before
before tax.
interest and
Profit before interest and tax. Profit before interest and tax. Right. And the formula for financial leverage. Financial leverage comes because of financing cost or because of interest. The formula for this is how much?
yes, sir.
What is the formula?
PBIT by PBIT.
What is PBIT? Repeat once
PBIT by
again. Yeah, PBIT means
profit
profit
before
Profit
interest
before
and
tax.
tax.
and PBT means
Profit
Profit
before
before
tax.
tax.
profit before tax. So this formula you have to remember. OL operating leverage we will be referring it as OL. OL is contribution by PBIT and FL or financial leverage is PBIT by PBT. And what is combined leverage? Combined leverage means in case this you see this is one ratio, this is one ratio. When two ratios we want to combine, suppose this is 1 by 2, this is 1 by 2. If we combine, we will not just add it. Add it means 1 by 2 plus 1 by 2 will become 1. But actually it is 1 by 2 of 1 by 2. That means 1 by 2 into 1 by 2. Right? It should be 1 by 4. So same ratio. When we want to combine two ratios, right? What we do? We do not add them. We multiply them. We multiply them. So the combined leverage and total leverage is equal to this multiplied with this. So if we multiply this, what will the formula? Contribution by PBIT into PBIT by
Yes,
PBT. Is it not?
yes, sir.
Okay. I repeat, contribution by PBIT into PBIT by PBT. If I multiply, what will happen? This PBIT is the denominator. Here PBIT is the numerator.
Yes,
So naturally that will get cancelled. Is it not? PBIT gets cancelled.
yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then what formula I am getting? Contribution by PBT.
PBT.
Okay. Now, what is the formula for combined leverage? Please repeat.
Contribution by PBT.
Very good. Contribution by PBT. Okay. Contribution by PBT. And the formula for OL?
It is contribution
Contribution
by
divided by PBIT.
And
PBIT.
formula for FL?
PBIT by
PBT.
PBIT
Okay.
divided by PBT.
Okay. Very good. Now we'll see how to remember this formula. Okay. I will be just explaining you that formula once again. You have just now we have discussed the total leverage. Total leverage is the product of OL and FL. Okay, total leverage is the product of operating leverage and financial leverage, right? Therefore, the formula for total leverage is equal to contribution by PBIT into PBIT by PBT. PBIT get cancelled, so we are getting contribution by PBT. That is what I discussed with you just now. I'm repeating it purposefully. Okay. Okay. Now, friends, one more thing we have to understand before understanding exactly how to compute it. One more concept we have to understand. First concept we have understood that we are introducing debt in the capital structure so that a leverage can be created. And leverage we are trying to create so that we can maximize our EPS. And that too, we want to maximize our EPS, maximize our earning per share disproportionate. That means with less effort, we want to have more earning per share. And effort means sales. We want a kind of disproportionate relationship between sales and EPS. Ideally, our intention is that the rate at which sales grows, EPS should grow at a higher rate. Suppose sales is growing at 10%, EPS should grow as 15%. Then only all this planning of capital structure will become successful. But here, friends, we have to remember, for all these things, we have understood that what is responsible for operating leverage. Can you tell me once again why operating leverage arises?
It is due to fixed cost.
Due to operating fixed cost. Why financial leverage arises? Due to
Due interest.
very good. Due to interest. Now, thing is that therefore fixed cost helps us in increasing the EPS. But the problem is that fixed cost always comes with a risk. Risk is that even if, let us say, business is not happening, even if nobody is buying your product, but still you have to pay salary, you have to pay rent. So that is the risk. It's a fixed commitment. Or even if you are not selling a single product, still you have to pay interest. Okay. Now, friends, we need to understand the risk in the business comes because of fixed cost. And these risks are measured by leverages. Why you are calculating leverage? Because we will be able to calculate what is the degree of risk associated with this business. So, if it is operating fixed cost, the degree of operating leverage is measured by this formula, contribution by PBT. And if there is interest, there will be financial leverage. And this financial leverage means there is a risk. And that risk is measured by using this formula. And the combination of both the kind of fixed costs brings a combined risk. The combined risk is computed, or the combined risk is analyzed by computing this particular leverage, which is called as combined leverage, and the formula for this thing is contribution by PBT. Okay. The purpose of telling you all these things is that the leverage calculation helps us to getting disproportionate reward, but leverages are always associated with risk, and the risks come because you are bringing fixed cost to the cost structure. अगर आप फिक्स्ड कॉस्ट ला रहे हो उसके साथ आप रिस्क भी ला रहे हो. ठीक है, अंडरस्टूड?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll understand how to. I told you I'll be explaining you how to remember this formula. We'll calling it as the, let us say, income statement structure or leverage structure. Okay, please read what is written. First column, let us say sales,
Sale.
then
Variable cost.
sales less variable cost. So if I deduct variable cost from the sales, what I will be getting?
Contribution.
Less operating fixed cost.
Up.
I will be getting
Then
profit before interest and taxes.
profit.
Less interest, what I will be getting?
Profit before tax.
Tax. Less tax, I will be getting profit after tax. Okay. Can you remember this sequence? First is sales, then variable cost. Sales minus variable cost is what?
Contribution.
Contribution. Minus fixed operating cost, you'll be getting PBIT. Minus interest, you'll be getting PBT. Minus tax, you'll be getting PAT. Okay. Okay. This structure, only we have to remember this structure. It will be very easily remember the formula for this. The structure, I think you can easily remember. Okay. I repeat, sales minus variable cost, you'll be getting contribution. Minus fixed operating cost, you'll be getting PBIT. Minus interest, you'll be getting PBT. Minus tax, you'll be getting PAT. Okay. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now you see, in the two places, fixed costs are appearing. What are these fixed costs? Again, you see.
Operating fixed cost.
So first you can see what is appearing in the blue color is operating fixed cost. So this operating fixed cost is responsible for my operating leverage. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
So this creates a disproportionate reward. Disproportionate effort and reward relations. How to calculate operating fixed cost? You see, this is operating fixed cost. Formula for this is that you see one step up, one step down. What is there in one step up?
Contribution.
And what is there in one step down?
Profit before
Profit.
So because of this thing, because of this item, this proportion changes. Contribution and PBIT changes. अगर A item नहीं होता, so contribution and PBIT would have been same. Is it not? But because of this operating fixed cost, this ratio changes. So the formula for operating fixed operating leverage is contribution by PBIT.
PBI.
One step up, one step down. If you remember the sequence, you can very easily remember one step up, one step down. That is OL. Contribution by PBI. Because this particular item is responsible for my OL, right? So this is the formula for this. Similarly, what is this? Another fixed cost is interest.
Finance.
This is a financial
Yes, sir.
fixed cost, and it is responsible for my financial leverage. So the formula for FL is again one step up, one step down. So
Yes,
what
sir.
is the formula?
PBIT by
PBI.
PBT.
PBIT by
PBIT
PBT.
divided by PBT.
Very good. Because अगर interest नहीं होता तो PBIT and PBT the same होता. This interest is creating problem. This interest is bringing risk, and this particular interest is disproportionating my effort reward relationship. Right. So this ratio I am calculating by PBIT by PBT. Okay.
PBT.
Can you remember the formula? This divided by this is FL, and this divided by this is OL. So if you remember the sequence, you can remember. Now, if I ignore both the fixed cost, A भी हट जाएंगे, O भी हट जाएंगे. अरे दोनों को अगर लेंगे, दोनों को अगर हटा देंगे, तो हमारा कंट्रीब्यूशन और PBT सेम हो जाता है. नहीं, कंट्रीब्यूशन PBT सेम हो जाता. Okay, but because of these two people, the relationship between contribution and PBT changes. So दोनों को इकट्ठे करके आप अगर इग्नोर करेंगे, ये दोनों को हटाएंगे. So again उसकी one step up, उसकी one step down. So formula is
Contribution by PBT.
contribution by PBT. That is what we call it is by combined leverage. For combined leverage, these are the two elements which are responsible, which are disproportionate. So one step up, one step down. Are you getting? Now looking at this chart,
Yes, sir.
please tell me all the three formulas. What is the formula for OL? What is the formula for FL? And what is the formula for CL? CL is also called as TL or total leverage. Can some of you say what is the formula for OL?
It is
Contribution
contribution by
divided by
profit.
PBIT.
And what is the formula for FL?
PBIT divided by PBT.
And what is the formula for CL?
Contribution by PBT.
Contribution divided by PBT.
Okay. Can you remember the formulas now? All these formulas are very
Yes, sir.
useful and very easy to remember. I'll be sending you the slides. You can see all these things. Now, friends, you have to remember some concepts. This measuring unit, that when we calculate the leverage, these are expressed in terms of time. Okay, so for combined leverage 3 times, 4 times, like this it is written. OL is measured in terms of times. What is operating leverage? Operating leverage measures the changes in PBIT for every level of change in contribution. मतलब contribution change होने से PBIT के ऊपर क्या असर पड़ेगा? That is measured through operating leverage, right? And sales and contributions are directly proportional. मतलब sales 10% बढ़ने से contribution भी 10% बढ़ेगा. So इसका मतलब OL also expresses the relationship between sales and PBIT. मतलब sales बढ़ने से PBIT को क्या असर पड़ेगा वो बताता है. Okay. Now if OL is 3, suppose we will assume we have calculated OL is 3. Yeah, any question you have?
So first line is OL is measured in term of times. Here, times have any impact on this?
No. It is just you can say unit of measurement. Suppose you are calculating OL 3, you will not write just 3, you will write 3 times. Okay. Suppose you will calculate contribution by PBIT. Let us say contribution is 60.
Here time means the 3 times.
Yeah. Okay, that is the unit of measurement. Suppose you see contribution is 60 and PBIT is 20. So what is OL? How much is OL?
It is 3 times.
You will say 3 times. You will not say 3. Okay. Okay, you need to know it is expressed in 3 times. Even
Yes,
if
sir.
you are writing 3, it's okay. But in financial management, the unit of measurement for leverage is 3 times. Okay. It is expressed in the 3 times.
Okay, sir.
So let us say, and we have need to understand if OL is 3, that means what? That means if sales changes by 10%, my PBIT will change by 30% because operating leverage is 3. and it will create a disproportionate reward. Sales I'm increasing how much? 10%, but my PBIT will change by 30%.
30%.
PBIT change by 30%. Why it is so? Because my OL is 3. Okay. Suppose OL अगर 2 होता, let us assume OL is 2, my sales increases by 10%. What will happen to my PBIT? कितनी परसेंट बढ़ेगा?
20%.
20%, right? Because OL is 2. Suppose OL is 1.5, sales increases 10%. What will happen to my PBIT?
15%.
15%. Very good. So that is the relationship. That is what we need to understand, the impact of OL. Similarly, financial leverage is also expressed in terms of times. It measures the changes in PBT or changes that EPS will be having for every change in PBIT. मतलब PBIT चेंज होने से EPS के ऊपर क्या फर्क पड़ेगा और प्रॉफिट बिफोर टैक्स के ऊपर क्या फर्क पड़ेगा, that can be analyzed through financial leverage, right? Meaning if financial leverage is 2 and PBIT changes by 30%, PBT will changes by 60%. Okay, PBIT changes
Yes, sir.
30%. What will happen to PBT? 60%, because FL is 2. FL is 2. Suppose FL is 1.5 and PBIT changes by 30%. What will happen to PBT?
45%.
45%. Very good. 45%. Understood the relationship between
Yes, sir.
this thing,
Yes.
EPS and PBIT?
PBIT.
Okay. Similarly, now we'll come to the total leverage. Total leverage is also expressed in terms of times. Total leverage measures the changes in PBT or EPS for every change in sales. मतलब सेल्स बढ़ने से ईपीएस और पीबीटी के ऊपर क्या असर होगा वो टोटल लिवरेज बताता है. सो ये जो दोनों हम कैलकुलेशन किया, एक जगह में लिवरेज था 3, अनदर था इट वाज 2, सो टोटल लिवरेज इज 6. सो इफ बिकॉज़ 3 into 2 is 6, if total leverage is 6
Yes.
and sales has increased by 10%, then profit or EPS should increase by 60%. Okay,
60%.
because total leverage is 6. If you can create
Yes,
total
sir.
leverage of 6 और सेल्स को अगर 10% बढ़ाएंगे तो प्रॉफिट कितनी बढ़ेगा? 60%.
60%.
और टोटल लेवरेज 4 होता तो प्रॉफिट कितनी परसेंट बढ़ता?
40%.
40%. Did you understand these 3 kinds of leverage and the formula how to compute it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now we'll understand quickly. We'll cover one more concept. Now we have also understood that leverage is associated with risk. Is it not? So leverage is better. Leverage can bring you more EPS, but it also bring you more risk. तो हाई टोटल लिवरेज इज रिस्की. मतलब सेल्स आपने देखा, जैसे आपको एग्जांपल दिया, इफ टोटल लिवरेज इज 6, अगर सेल्स बढ़ता है 10%, तो ईपीएस कितनी बढ़ेगा?
10%.
कितनी बढ़ेगी?
60%.
60%. आप सोचो अगर सेल्स 10% घटता है तो ईपीएस को क्या होगा?
60%.
So that is the risk. If sales reduces, suppose sales reduces by 5%, what will happen to the EPS?
30% will decrease.
30% reduce. So that is the risk with leverage. If you create leverage, high leverage is risky because there is no guarantee that always one factor will increase. If it increases, there is a possibility of it may decrease. If sales increases by 10%, then EPS will increase by 60%. But if sales decreases by 10%, then EPS will also decrease by 60%. Okay. Most of the times what happens, the operating leverage, that is like depreciation, rent, etc., are not within the control of management. Meaning, if you want to run the business, we have to incur this kind of fixed cost. Is it not? आपको rent देना पड़ेगा, salary देना पड़ेगा, depreciation cost you have to adjust, you have to charge depreciation cost. ये सब तो करना पड़ेगा. Is it not?
Yes, sir.
But what you have to do, financial leverage to some extent is under your control. You may have to decide whether you will go take a debt or not. आप लोन लेंगे या नहीं लेंगे वो आप सोच के कर सकते हैं. So therefore, what is normally planned? एंड ओवरऑल लिवरेज को हम ज्यादा नहीं रख सकते क्योंकि ज्यादा रखने से वो रिस्क है, सेल्स बढ़ने से तो बढ़ेगा लेकिन घटने से भी तो घटेगा.
Hmm.
So firms tries to manage all this leverage. How they manage? If OL is already high, FL is also high, then total leverage will be very high because total leverage is the multiple of OL and FL,
Off.
is it not?
Then.
If OL is high,
Yes, sir.
then FL is low, then total leverage will be moderate. If
Hmm.
OL is low, FL is high, total leverage will be again moderate. And OL is low,
Hmm.
FL is low, total leverage will also be low. But low means
Hmm.
EPS will be low. High means EPS will be high, but risk is there. So ideally, we should keep moderate leverage. Is it not?
Hmm.
How we can do it? We can do, if you see, if OL is already high, then we should reduce FL so that it can be moderate. We should not take high FL. High financial leverage should not be there. Or,
Hmm.
or if FL is high, somehow you have to take a loan. Then you have to reduce OL. Operating leverage has to be controlled. सो एक लिवरेज अगर ज्यादा है, दूसरी लिवरेज को आपको कंट्रोल करना पड़ेगा. देन ओनली यू कैन earn EPS, you can maximize your EPS with low risk. Otherwise, risk will be also equally more. Did you understand up to this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here you are asking to explain this thing with the help of an example. What I'll do, example is there. But example, we'll be doing it in our next class. Next class, I'll request all of you. Next class means tomorrow again at 3:30. I'll be sending you the meeting ID and password. So tomorrow at 3:30 again we'll be starting the class. But in that class, please make sure that you are having pen, paper, calculator, etc. So we have to solve some questions in that class. This is one question, then one more question also we have to solve. After that only it will be clear, and some more theoretical aspects also we'll be learning in our next class. So after this, uh, we have covered today. Wait a minute. We have understood the concept of leverage, how it is computed, all these formulas I've understood. So what I'm expecting of you is that tomorrow, before coming to the class, just go through the formula, just understand why leverage is necessary, how it will be helpful, and the theoretical part also will be understanding. Slides will be sent to you through WhatsApp. Please read those slides and come prepared so that directly in the next class we'll be able to start the problems. Okay. Okay. Do you have any
Yes, sir.
query? Do you have any query? Now just ask me that query.
No, sir.
No query. No? Okay. Thank you very much. So we'll catch up tomorrow at 3:30.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks.